I'm really excited. I just got out of a career day. I know this sounds really weird because you're like, yeah, but I don't understand. Let me tell you. I am an actress, as you know, but I also got my degree in American Sign Language interpreting. My friend Dave Shelton, who is a writer and a cartoonist for such shows as Rugrats, Everybody Loves Raymond and stuff, he invited me to go along to a career day for a charter school in an area where kids really don't have a lot. They have this career day every year to kind of bring in people to say, hey, look, you know, you can do what you want in your life. You know, don't let your circumstances of where you live or your life or whatever hold you back. It was really fun. It was really inspirational. I'm so honored that they asked me to go, and I had such a great time. The kids, they came in, you know, every class, and ranged everywhere from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, and it was so interesting because the little kids, you know, their attention span were kind of short, but they'd just be like, oh wow, you know, oh, Hannah Montana, oh wow, like, you know, they would get so excited with things that you would tell them about acting and sharing your story. And then also, like the older ones around 5th grade, they'd be like, yeah, whatever. But then by the time you got to 8th grade, they'd be like, oh wow, this is really what I want to do with my life. You know, how do I learn more information? So the way it went is Dave would go up and he would kind of share a little bit about himself, and then he would bring me on, and then I would let everyone know about, you know, interpreting in sign language, and I would give them a couple examples of what sign language looks like, and give an example of interpreting, and what it's like to work for deaf people, and all that kind of stuff, and answer questions.
His name is Snuggy Bear. Everyone say hi, Snuggy. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little exercise with her with sign language, and then you get to ask all these great questions and stuff.
Yeah, so like Dave was saying a minute ago, you guys understand that sign language is a language that deaf people speak to each other because they can't hear. So obviously if you can't hear someone speaking a language, so you have to use your hands in order to understand very visually. So let's do an exercise really quick to understand what it's like to be deaf, right? So take your fingers and plug up your ears. Can't hear anything, right? So if someone were trying to talk to you, you wouldn't be able to understand them. So that's where sign language comes in. So, and he's going to speak, and I'm going to interpret for him. And then that way you guys can see what sign language looks like, okay?
Hello, my name is Dave, and it's really great to be here. Thank you for having us. And are you guys having fun on career day? Cool. Okay. And I see some people are still putting their hands in their ear to try to follow along.
And then I would segue into acting and what it's like being on set and memorizing scripts, and you know why it's important to stay in school and all that kind of stuff. So it was really cool, and it was really eye-opening to just be able to work with every kind of age group so quickly in all of the situations. It was a lot of fun. My room was the best because it had me and Dave, and we're in the entertainment industry, and that's a fun business, right? But they had a lot of other people. They had like firemen and policemen in the other rooms, and they had you know, doctors and all kinds of cool stuff. And then at the end, we signed autographs, and everyone was just so excited. And then some of the older kids were like, oh, I want to follow you on Twitter, I want to follow you on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, you know. So like I said, I had a great time, and it was so cute because afterwards, all the little girls would come up and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, can you be my sister? And they would like give me hugs, and it was just so cute. So I had a great time, and I can't wait to do more events either like this or just, you know, just do the same one next year. It was just so much fun.